Hey y'all, it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl. I like to focus on all things vinyl, sublimation, and screen printing. I don't focus on perfection because without mistakes, how do you learn anything? I have over 15 years of professional experience, if you want to call it that. So you might see things a little bit different than you've seen them done before. I also have epilepsy, so I might misspeak. I also might miss a step, whether it be in the tutorial or in editing. So it happens. I don't do it on purpose. It still doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just my brain does miss things every once in a while. I also like to keep things as honest and real and transparent as possible. If that sounds like something you're into, then why don't you stick around and think about joining the Cuttin Corners family? If not, then you can buzz off because my honeybees have a real sting to them. So, today, this isn't one of my normally scheduled videos, but I'm going to go over a couple of things. I'm going to go over how to make sure you're subscribed in YouTube, how to make sure your notifications are turned on, how to make sure you're following on Patreon. Not because you have to always be a paid supporter on Patreon, because there's tons of free stuff I post on Patreon, but because a lot of people don't understand how it works, and also how to become a member on my website. Because with all of my health issues, as you could tell me stumbling on my words, and my posting schedule, even though I try to stick to it, YouTube rewards whenever you can stick to your posting schedule, and we're also coming up on hurricane season. And as I said, YouTube rewards whenever you can stick to like posting on a consistent basis. And I want to make sure that if you actually want to see my content, that you know how to find it. And this is one of the easiest ways I can make sure you do that. If you don't want to watch this, you don't have to. I just want to make sure you know how to find it. So if you're interested, you can watch this, and if not, you don't have to. Again, I'm putting this out there because if not, I worry that if I have to go on a little bit of a hiatus, you won't see it. And if you are a Patreon supporter, if I can't post videos, there will be other content, because, and part of the thing is, just because I might not be able to get on camera, it doesn't mean I can't create artwork. Because sometimes, like with this past weekend being an example, or even kind of today, it has taken me so long to get anything done on camera. It's crazy, but I can get things done on the computer. Hopefully that makes sense. Like sitting under the lights and trying to talk isn't always the easiest thing, but creating a piece of artwork is a little bit easier for me. And I did update Patreon tiers, and I will go over that, and I will make sure that there are chapters for this video, so that way you can see the things that you want to see or that you're interested in seeing. Again, you don't have to watch this if you don't want to. I'm just trying to make sure the information's out there, because if not, I'm worried that if I get stuck, if we get hit by a hurricane and I can't post for a couple of weeks, or something happens, that a lot of you aren't going to see my content anymore. Because even if you're subscribed, a lot of times YouTube's like, hey, she hasn't posted in a month, then we're not going to show it to like anybody. And even like Facebook, with the way that things have changed, they don't show it to like anybody. So I want to make sure that you know, if you want to see it, how to make sure you can see it, if that makes sense. And again, if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I don't want to hold anybody's feet to the fire and be like, hey, no, you got to watch what I put out. I am not that type of person. It's like, if you don't want to be a Patreon supporter, you do not have to be a Patreon supporter. You do not have to financially support me. That's not what any of this is about. Let me make sure that's let me make sure that that is 100% clear. Brain not functioning. And I'm going to leave these parts in here because part of it is people have, like, I was trying to do videos where I was editing stuff out, and I think not showing what I'm going through was hurting the situation, because I think it was making people think I was just kind of, I don't know what it was making people see or not see. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know anymore. Honestly. Sometimes I don't even know who I am at this point. I'm in my own little bubble. I don't comment on things at this point anymore, that except it's kind of like I try to be involved with other things, but I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I've been going through like crazy amounts of dry mouth. It doesn't matter how much water I'm drinking. Everything just like my whole But I am going to do screen. I set up an email address. Did I say email address? Sounded in my brain like I said email address. And I will explain this to you. Sometimes when I say stuff in my brain, it sounds wrong, but when I say it out loud, it sounds correctly. Sometimes whenever in my brain it sounds correct, but out loud it sounds wrong. But I will show you on the computer screen all of this. I did set up a special email address so I can actually walk you through step by step, like on setting up the YouTube and all this, other than setting up Facebook, because I don't even know how to set up a new Facebook thing, and I'm not even going to do it. But I will show you how to like find groups and stuff like that. I'll show you like the description box. Maybe that'll help. Now, on to Okay, so we're going to start off with YouTube. We're going to start by typing in my page, which is Cuttin Corners Vinyl. There we go. So there is my page. Now, the first thing that I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and click the red subscribe button. Now, you see the little bell icon next to it. I want to go ahead and click that. And then I want to go ahead and click the all. Now, that will make it where I will get notifications for all. Now, sometimes that doesn't always work, but it should. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on the newest video. Now, I have it turned off the sound at the top, but you can have your volume up. I just have it off so that way we can actually do this tutorial. Now, go ahead and dismiss the YouTube Premium. Now, remember, if you actually interact with the channel, it does help. It helps me out a lot. If you watch the videos all the way through, again, you do not have to, but it does help. If you like the video and comment, it helps me. But you don't have to. Now, whenever I talk about the description box, this is what I mean. Now, on the mobile part, it is a little bit harder to find, but this is the description box. So when you click that show more, this is where everything is. So all of the blue little boxes are things that you can click on. So whenever the specialty materials, that's where you can go to get all of the instructions for specialty materials. This blue one right here, you can request samples. All of the artwork for Patreon is right here. Heat Press Nation, Amazon, the Sublimation paper, which Koala right here, that is also a sub paper. Creative Fabrica, Condi, that's a coupon code. My website, social media. I don't know why Facebook isn't showing up. But there's the groups for everything. So everything is listed. It makes it a whole lot easier to find. So, kind of go from there. We're going to start off with Patreon, though. I think that's a good one to start with. So, we're going to click the Patreon. Now, for Patreon, there are a lot of free files. As you can see, there are locked ones that you have to be paid to use, but there are a ton of free files. Anything that's free, you can see the picture. So everything that is locked. So it makes it very easy. And then you can kind of go through. There's 632 posts on there. It makes it very easy to organize. I have been making it a little bit easier to find things. You can search for tags. And one thing that you can do, whether you're paid or not, is you can follow. So you can click that follow feature. And you can follow with Gmail or with Facebook. So if I click that right there, now I am followed. And that's nice. So if I go to my Gmail up here, I created a special right here. And you can check under your promotions, under those types of things. And one thing you do need to make sure of whenever you sign up for things like that is sometimes Gmail, Apple, like your iCloud, that type of thing, that those will kind of go either in your junk folder, in your promotions folder, that type of thing. Double check to make sure that that doesn't go to like your all mail. You might have to double check that and move it to a different folder. You'll have to double check and make sure to set that as to go to your inbox. It hasn't, nothing from it has come through yet, but when it does, you'll just have to add it to it. But again, that is what you can do. It's very, very easy to add. So let's kind of go over the Patreon tiers, because again, I did just update these. So there are 6 different levels. So there's ones for different budgets. But as I said, there is a lot of free content. And I want to make sure that that is known. And you can search for the free content. It is very easy to find. So as you can see, there's a ton of free content. You can click on any of these links and download them. It just makes it a whole lot easier. Like, let me show you. See how many posts that are free? There's a ton. And I just wanted it, like, I wanted to make sure that you could see how many different posts there were. And I don't know if you just heard the dog snore. How much different stuff. Okay. So, let me go back. Now, for the first tier, which is $3 a month. Now, there are taxes added onto this. I have no control over it. But if you do sign up annually, it is 10%. You save 10% if you sign up annually. The SVG Superstar. So you have access to all of the files on Patreon, because there are certain files that are Patreon only. Then you have access to the Patreon only scrapbox contest, which that is on the first Tuesday of every month. Now, that is subject to change depending on if I have any health issues that month or doctor's appointments. At 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is a monthly crafting session, which is the first Wednesday of every month, which is 2 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that is a live, but you can watch it on replay. The first one I did, which was this month, it was terrible, but it will get better. And then also the tutorial using the SVGs, one of the SVGs of the Patreon monthly kit. That video releases on or around the 15th of the previous month. So the example would be for the May 2022 Patreon kit will release on April 15th of 2022. Now, for the $4 a month level, and if you join for the annual, you save 10%. You get commercial use of my SVGs. Now, I say SVGs, but it also includes PNGs, which are printable files. And one thing I do try to do with all of my PNGs, which I don't see a lot of people do, I do try to create an SVG background, so that way you have a cut around it. So that way, if you do not have like a sublimation printer or another way to print other than like your home printer and you want to do a print and cut, you can do that as well. So you get commercial use of my SVGs unless otherwise noted, because some things you can't use commercially. So that does not include sale of the files. So you can't use my files to sell by themselves. You can use them to decorate items only. Access to all of my files on my Patreon page. Access to everything in the previous level. Now, then you go up to the $10 level, and again, you save 10% if you pay $10 for the annual level, and that is the Google Drive access. Now, this is special access to the password protected Patreon area on my website. So that is access to my Google Drive. The files are sorted by PNG and SVGs, and they are sorted by holidays or seasons or different themes. And that is updated each time I add a SVG or PNG, or each time they're added to the Patreon page. The password changes on the first of each month, and there is a post added to Patreon each time. Again, that's part of the reason why it's so important to make sure that you, one, are following on Patreon and you have that added on to your Google or your email to make sure that's not going to like spam or your like social side, because if not, you won't see that. But I will also make sure, and also that you're checking Patreon often, just to be on the safe side. But I will also show you how to make sure you're signed up on my website so you can log in and access this feature. And I will also, as you can see, I will also answer any questions you have to make sure you understand how to do this. And again, all the other features are included at this benefit. Now, for the $20 a month, that is the So Extra level. That includes a 10-minute one-on-one Zoom call a month. Now, you do need to schedule this at least 1 week in advance. And please be understanding that due to my health issues, I may have to cancel. But we can always reschedule. If you're not comfortable with a Zoom call, we can do text, well, not really text messages, but like some type of messaging back and forth. Or if there's something else that you want to do, just message me, let me know. We'll work something out. And you save 10% if you do annually. Now, next up is the Kit-tastic level. Now, this is where you get the kit. So, there's two different choices. We have the domestic and the international. For the domestic level, there's two different kit options. There's one that includes 5 pre-selected heat transfer vinyls and the t-shirt, which runs small through 3X. And that is a unisex t-shirt size. I would offer more extended sizes. It's just right now t-shirts are getting harder and harder to come by. And 3X is about the only thing I can guarantee I can get all sizes in. So, or you can choose option number 2, which includes 10 different pre-selected heat transfer vinyls. Also, you need to message me on here if you do choose the Kit-tastic level, your shirt size. If not, the default size is a size large. You hear the dogs chewing on their toys? Just in case you're wondering. It's hard for me to sit there and remember to message everybody. So please be understanding of that. This is for the United States only. I did have to change this to have an international shipping option as well. It used to be for the same for everyone, but I did have to change it. Hey, Shadow. Why don't you go somewhere else, Bubba? He's staring at me like, Mama. Oh, now you're going to come for Mama to pet you. I will pet you if that keeps you from chewing on that toy. You're such a good boy. Anyways. But I did have to change it because shipping costs internationally have gone up dramatically. But people who were already international, I did not make them switch. You were already grandfathered in. Okay. Anyways. And then again, all of the previous levels, the same thing. Now, last but not least is the international level. It is the same thing, except it is $55 a month. Same choices. So hopefully that helps. Now, on to the website. Now, this is the website, same as before, cuttincornersvinyl.com. Now, to sign up for the membership, you go up here. Ow, you're biting me. You go to membership. You go to sign up now. You can sign up with Google. And if you want to sign up, you can still sign up with email. You can sign up with whatever one you want. We're going to do right there. Okay. I'm going to see if I can edit that out. So, as you can see, once you sign up, you can do the Patreon members only files. You click on that and you sign up with the password, which again is in a post. And you click go. And as you can see, there's two different folders. PNGs, SVGs. When you click SVGs, they're sorted. So say I want to go to St. Patrick's Day. There you go. And you can take there we go. You click on that top link and then you click download. And it's that simple. And now it's downloaded onto my computer. And then you go back, close that, and then close that. And it's that easy. Now, if I want to, and you can do that with any of them. And part of the reason why I didn't do, because I am going to add a members area and kind of add a second layer on my website where we can do this without Patreon. But I am not going to do like a lifetime access Google Drive. And the reason being is Google can change access to the drive whenever they want to, because I don't have lifetime access to my drive. I pay for my drive yearly. So if they decide to change their policy, then y'all are out of luck on things. And I have backups upon backups of my data. Shadow. But I don't want y'all to pay a bunch of money and then not have access to things. So just so you know. That's part of the reason why I'm doing it this way. So, there's that. And I'm constantly adding new information to it. But again, this also updates you whenever I post new things if you're subscribed. So that is also helpful. And again, you do not have to pay to subscribe to the website. And I am trying to add more features to the website. Hopefully that helps. Also, with the affiliate links in my description box, you don't have to use them. Whatever you're comfortable with doing, you can do. I don't ever want it to feel like I am pushing anything on people. Now, back to the description box. For social media. Let's go to Facebook group. Okay, so like this is the Betsy Bees group. You can join one of the groups. that also will help keep you notified of things. That is another great way to help keep you notified. These things all help. For some reason, with all these social media things, the more you interact, the more you see. If you like seeing my stuff, interact. If not, you don't have to. I appreciate it when you do. I am not a great salesperson. I don't know how I ever did sales in my previous life. I was always too honest for it. Let me be frank. I really don't know. But, I mean, and I always want to make sure that that's understood. Like, I do love you guys, and I appreciate every single thing that y'all do. And, I mean, I want that to be completely and utterly understood. It's not that. It's just, I don't want to be someone like, oh yes, I need your money. I need your money. It's not that. The reason why I'm doing this is because it is important to me because in case y'all can't see what I'm doing, because that's scary, but I just want to make sure that y'all have a way to be able to see what I'm doing in case you can't see my videos. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's why I'm doing this. But I do love you guys. I appreciate you. I also know that right now, with everything that's going on in the world, that's part of the reason why I am trying to make sure that I am putting out lots of free SVGs, things like that, because, you know, the economy and things like that are completely and utterly uncertain. I know that. So if all that you can do is watch, that is enough. So thank you. I should put a thing up at the top in the front because maybe I don't make myself clear. I don't want it to seem like I'm begging or asking for a handout because I'm not. That's always been something, like I've had people like, well, like when we've had a hurricane, or where can I donate? I don't want donations. I like working for my money. I want you to buy, like not buy, but like appreciate what I'm making, watch what I'm, you know what I'm saying? That's more what I want. So if you like this, give it a big thumbs up. But I love you guys. And I will see y'all soon. Bye.